In Jane Elliott Against the World, a rural Iowa schoolteacher becomes a national voice against racism after leading a controversial 1967 lesson in discrimination with her all-white third-grade class. Now nearly 90, she refuses to hold back amid today's fights about race, history, and power after a lifetime of speaking out. Jane Elliott Against the World is directed by Judd Ehrlich, and he has directed films such as Magic Camp and The Price of Freedom. And Jane Elliott Against the World debuted at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival. Jane Elliott is a very interesting character. For this film, we follow her as she turns 90 years old, and she's still fighting. She's still meeting with people, speaking out against racism and conservatism and changing of education in the United States. And she's quite a character in the film. She doesn't hold back about she just says whatever she wants to say, and she doesn't hold back, and she knows people don't like her, but she doesn't care. She very much knows who she is as a person. And this film also tackles with how her family, how her children have also suffered because this 1968 lesson that she invented that caused a stir throughout the United States has been a detriment not to herself but also to her children as well. So this film also deals with her trying to mend the rift between her and her children. And this film also goes back to her childhood and her upbringing and her racial upbringing and where she lived and the type of neighborhood she lived in, and when she got married and had children, and when she started to become a teacher, and just the way she fought back every step of the way. I think this film does a great job of the history lesson on this film and what she was fighting against back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and when she appeared on TV shows such as Oprah and became a bit of a household name. But I think where the film suffers for me is in the present day time, where I think the film fails to convey what she's fighting for now. There's a lot of she's fighting against change of education, she's fighting against racism, is she fighting against conservatism. I just think that film could have focused on current events a little bit more, because I just found what she is fighting for now a little bit murky. But I still definitely recommend checking out this film, Jane Elliott Against the World. Jane Elliott is still fighting. She just at the sake of her health, she's 90 years old now. She's still fighting for everyday people, for education and for racism. So, and she's quite inspiring to see throughout this film, and she's a very entertaining character throughout this film. So for that alone, I do recommend checking out this film, Jane Elliott Against the World. I give Jane Elliott Against the World 3 stars out of 5. I do have some misgivings about the current events in this film, but Jane Elliott is still a very interesting person, very interesting character, and she's lived a very inspiring and interesting life, and she's still fighting now against racism and discrimination in this world. So I definitely recommend checking out this film, Jane Elliott Against the World. It's very inspirational, compelling documentary. Thanks for watching. What do you think of Jane Elliott Against the World? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.